Hi everyone, and nice to meet you again. Lecture number 5. Today I would like to speak about tragedy in Old Man and the Sea. For the first page we see that a tragedy finds the career and downfall of an individual and shows in this death both the capacities and the limitation of human life. Before that, we should know that what is tragedy? Tragedy is an event causing great suffering and destruction. So in this novel we can see that action is very clear within the actions of the or chapters of the novel. The protagonist may be a superhuman in the modern age, an ordinary person, that is to say Santiago. In page number 2 we see that Santiago is called a sailor by his fellow fishermen. He is a veteran fisherman. He remains without a single fish for 80 days. He decides to go far out into the deep sea on the 85th day. After hooking a big marlin, he fights bravely for 48 hours to kill it. The fish is strong enough, it doesn't surrender to the old man. So within this action we see that how is that person is very great and how he could catch that big fish. For the next page we see that Santiago challenges the fish. He says that fish, I will stay with you until I'm alive. So within this sentence we see that Santiago challenges that fish and how he is that bravely one and how he can would like to achieve that dream, that's catching the fish. His left hand cramps, his body bleeds, and he has to feed on raw fish to live with. He doesn't give in, he eventually kills the marlin. So this is the last action. For the next after that the killing of the fish, we can say the story is ended. It would have been a great romantic tale that it is not. The blood of marlin invites sharks. They come numberless, eating the flesh of marlin. So this is the next action. And also it is very important to say that the man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. That's spoken by whom? By Santiago. That's to say he is a great man and he is a strength man and he will not defeat it by one action. For the next, the story is a tragedy. How we can prove that? Because it involves the heroic flight with sharks and the marlin, his fatal error of entering deep sea, his fatal loss by sharks, and by element of pity we have for him at the end of the story. At the end of this lecture there are 3 questions I need you to focus on. Question number 1, what does Santiago called by his fellow fishermen? Question 2, what does he do when he remains without a single fish for 80 days? Question 3, why the story of Old Man and the Sea is considered as tragedy? Thank you very much for listening to me. Bye.